So we're lucky to have Emma joining us from Barclays. So could you tell us a little bit about what you do for your job?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a candidate acquisition manager here at Barclays. So my role is to kind of develop the attraction activity when we go out to schools and on campus, kind of build a bit of a brand presence for Barclays and entice students to come and apply for us. And I also kind of manage our assessment activity as well. So all kind of recruitment based things, able to kind of answer any questions around, what it's like to work at Barclays, the kinds of programs and roles that we have that will be coming up that are available, and any sort of hints and tips for applications.
So I think when most people think of banking, they might think of the bank tellers and people like that. So what kind of other job opportunities are there within Barclays?
It's a real breadth, actually, and it's really interesting that you say that, because a lot of students come to us and say, oh, just because I've not come from a financial background, or maybe I'm not very good at maths, or I don't have a real interest up until this point in banking, would I be able to join a company like Barclays? And actually, absolutely, there's a place for everyone. I actually went to university and studied history, did humanities and had a real interest in that, but managed to find a place for me in the bank. So I think there's so many roles outside the traditional banking roles, particularly for like apprenticeships, which we're kind of discussing today. We're looking to open up for opportunities in technology and operations, which form a really huge part of the bank, and they're obviously very separate to those sort of traditional roles you might think Barclays does. So yeah, there's a real plethora of kind of opportunities there for apprentices and also graduates, if students on the line are, looking to go to university and look for something after that as well.
Oh, okay. So you talked about the apprenticeships within technology. So what are the key skills you're looking for if people want to apply for that?
Sure. There's a real range, really. So I think one of the main things is kind of a real passion and drive for joining us at Barclays, and also that sort of business area you're looking to apply to. We use something called a strengths-based process. So it's based on your potential rather than kind of your experience. So we appreciate, obviously, you've not got much experience up until this point. You are quite young, and actually maybe it's more important to see kind of a passion and a drive and something there to start with, rather than actually, focusing on specific work experience that you might already have. So we look for a number of different things: the passion and motivation, determination, being an efficient planner, so being able to kind of organise your time effectively, work in teams, collaborate with individuals, really diverse individuals across the board from different backgrounds, be able to build relationships, and show you're really kind of critical and analytical as well. So a real range of different things. We've got them all, our strengths that we look for, we've got them on our Barclays website as well. So if you are interested in putting an application in, you can go onto the Join Us website and you'll be able to see everything that we look for. But I think the main thing I would just emphasise is that we're not looking for the full package. We're just looking for someone who's, ready to kind of get up and go and really run with it, and has a real kind of passion and interest for joining us.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you said you came. So how do you working with Barclays then?
So sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Would you mind repeating that?
Oh, yes. So you said you came from a history background. So how did you come to work for someone like Barclays?
For me, I actually worked for a Big Four bank, sort of prior to a Big Four, sorry, professional services company prior to starting at Barclays. And I heard from a friend who used to work here that the culture was kind of quite similar to that place that I worked previously. And it was kind of really diverse in terms of the networks that we have and the people that you work with. So I kind of got a bit of a sense of a buzz from her. And then I was kind of looking out for opportunities, because I was kind of looking to move from where I was, wanting to stay in the area of recruitment, and then actually saw an opportunity open up. So it was a different route to kind of maybe those that are on the line that are looking to go through a traditional sort of apprenticeship application or a graduate application. But I just applied online, saw it was there, and then went for a series of interviews in person and managed to get the job. So yeah, kind of just through word of mouth, really, and hearing a little bit about the brand and what it was all about, and thinking, oh, that kind of resonates with me, and I can see myself sort of joining a company like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what kind of challenges do you face in your job, and how do you overcome them?
Yes. Well, there's a real challenge going on at the moment, which is COVID-19 that we're all aware of. So navigating that can be difficult. I actually joined Barclays in March, and the first week we went into lockdown, which was a bit of a strange experience because I've actually never met my team in person. So I think from that point of view, being able to experience that and understand being a new joiner and what it's like in a sort of virtual environment, that's really helped me to sort of put myself in the shoes of the graduates and the apprentices that are going to be starting with us and help kind of form a real plan for them to feel supported and welcomed. So I say COVID-19 is a little bit of a challenge for us, but I think that's something that we're really, really focused on. As I say, we're really looking to kind of develop mentors that can kind of coach our students throughout the programs and ensure the process still, the application process they go through still really brings Barclays alive and gives them an opportunity to get all of their questions answered as well. So I'd say that's one of the main things. Another kind of challenge that we sometimes face in the recruitment industry is ensuring we get diversity of candidates coming through for our programs. So for us, we're really passionate about bringing students from all different backgrounds to come and join us, because we do feel that where we've got teams that represent people from all different walks of life, that actually means the service we can provide to our clients is much better. So for us, it's getting our name out there and showing that that's what we're looking for, going to different schools from different areas, different universities, and really kind of bringing that alive and really attracting a diverse workforce to come and join us.
Okay, so that's really interesting, obviously really relevant to the program we're doing today.
Yeah.
So what kind of initiatives do you have in improving our diversity and reaching out to minority groups?
So we do a lot of sort of targeted events. So we'll go out on campus, or we'll go out to schools, and we'll sort of target students from specific backgrounds that maybe haven't had those opportunities before. So some of the schools that we work with, for example, are those where there's a lot of students that qualify for free school meals, or haven't had parents that have gone to university before, or things like that. And we'll really go out to these places and mentor and coach the students so we can give them a bit of a head start in life. So yeah, that's kind of one of the main ways of doing it, is building up the attraction there and kind of supporting them throughout the recruitment process. And then once you're in the bank, it's ensuring that those people have got a mentor to kind of support them through being part of our program, and just making sure that they've got someone that's there to kind of from the same walk of life with them to kind of help them and support them throughout their time with us.
Oh, okay, that sounds really good. And obviously, I think things like events like this, where you can tell people that they're welcome, it makes a really big difference. So on that, if you were giving some advice to our attendees today, what would your piece of advice be?
I think the main thing for me would just be to be yourself. I think be unapologetically yourself. Like when you're going through a recruitment process, there's no point trying to pretend that you're someone that you aren't, because at the end of the day, when you come to the final assessment and we get to meet you either virtually or in person, we'll be able to see very clearly whether the answers you're discussing, the answers to the questions you're sort of making up, or whether that's really you. And the questions are designed throughout our process to be really sort of broad and open-ended, so you can really showcase your personality. So there'll be things like, what do you enjoy? How do your family describe you? What are your passions? So just be yourself, just come through the process and just try your best and really kind of show that to us, because we're looking for really unique individuals that can really add something and become part of our identity and culture. So that'd probably be my main piece of advice.
Okay. So our next question is, if you could start all over again, would you do your career path differently?
Oh, that's a really good question. To be honest, part of me, where now I've started to learn a little bit about apprenticeships, part of me kind of wishes that I'd been told a little bit more about them at school when I was kind of making the decision whether to go to university or do an apprenticeship. Because the school that I went to, it didn't really kind of promote apprenticeship opportunities and going straight into work. It was kind of naturally assumed that you go to university. And although I absolutely loved the time I spent at uni, and I really enjoyed studying history, I think maybe if I'd been more aware of apprenticeship opportunities, I might have thought differently about my career and where I saw it going. But I wouldn't say maybe like I regret going to uni or anything like that. I did really enjoy the path that I came through, and I was kind of very clear whilst I was at uni that I wanted to go into a HR kind of people focused role. So I knew that quite quickly. But yeah, I think the main thing would have been just to have a more idea of the options maybe earlier on, and actually, you know, scoped out apprenticeships a little bit more, because that just wasn't something that was kind of available to me at the time.
Okay, well, brilliant. We've had a lot of talk of apprenticeships today, and hopefully people are becoming more educated on that. So our next question is, what is the favourite part of your job?
Well, I mean, I used to absolutely love going out and meeting people in person, but obviously that's not really happening that much anymore, which is a real shame. But I guess it still kind of remains the same in terms of meeting students online, virtually now, and like coaching them through the process, and helping and supporting them with their applications, and then seeing at the end of it that they've got a job with Barclays and kind of how much it means to them. Like some of the conversations I have when I'm offering students, you know, just hearing from them and about their kind of journeys to get up into that point and how grateful they are. I think that's something that's really kind of rewarding about the work that we do. So I guess just, yeah, working with people and seeing people kind of prosper, and especially like, although I've only been at Barclays for a short period of time, seeing students come on to different programs that we've had an offer and then kind of grow throughout that program or that time with us, and kind of see that journey for them has been really nice.
Oh, brilliant. That sounds like a great motivation for work. I think we're coming on to our final question here. You say you work with people. Do you manage anyone? And do you have any tips for teamwork?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do manage someone, and so she works as kind of a coordinator with me to kind of support my outreach activity on campus and assessment processes. So I guess our relationship is really good in the sense that we've got a very sort of open communication with one another. And for me, I've been really keen to focus on sort of well-being, especially with everything going on over the past sort of few months with COVID, and actually joining myself in a virtual environment at Barclays. So I think one of the main things is always being there to support your colleagues, always providing that open communication for them to speak to you if they've got any issues, and keep putting their kind of development first and foremost. So wherever I see a training program that she might be able to get involved in, or anything that kind of can support her development or push her outside her comfort zone, I'll always encourage her to do that and kind of continually praise and support her with that. So I think the main tips I would just say for anyone that's wanting to go on to sort of take a management role is to just always support your colleagues and provide them with opportunities that can help them prosper as well, because that in turn helps and supports you too. So it's a bit of a win-win situation.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for great Q&A. And that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Speak to you soon.